Hey folks, David Stewart here. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Let's talk a little bit today about AI and art and humanizing the digital. Lately, I've been writing live. I've been doing it as a live thing. I've never wanted to do it because it seemed kind of boring to me, but people like tuning in and seeing me live write a little story. And I'm going to continue to do that at least until this novella is finished, in which case I will also live stream all of the production of the necessary stuff to publish the book after that. But I'm doing that live. How do you know that this book is not written by an AI? Well, because you watched me write it. This was a solution, a really obvious solution to teachers going like, how do we stop kids from using AI to write their papers? I'm like, you have them write their papers in front of you in class on paper. Yeah. Oh, well, I want this long essay about these things and I want them to revise it. Well, you probably can't do that and be sure that they aren't using all of these tools that are at their disposal. You'll have to change your grading rubric. But if you have them do it live, then you know that they are doing it and you have an assessment of exactly what they are capable of writing without any kinds of additional tools being used. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it live. Same thing on the Zool channel, right? It's live music. Everything that is on that channel, I have performed live. Other than I actually put 2 of my albums up that were not live recorded. They are studio works. But even then, when I'm recording something in the studio, I actually will do most of the things live, including playing in the drums, right? I don't program drums. I'm not like clicking them into a MIDI roll or doing anything like that. I don't program. I perform it in and just overdub it. Even if it's a MIDI overdub, I'm still performing the notes, right? That's something that I've always had as part of my music and will continue to do. How do you know that my music's not AI generated? You're watching me create it. It's not, a bunch of MIDI sequencing. You're watching me perform it live. Okay. So that is the way that you really beat the AI and know that something is human, right? You do it live. You do it in front of other people. And the big thing I think a lot of people are missing when talking about AI art or AI writing or just any of this kind of stuff is that when it comes to art, art is a form of communication. It's not merely a functional thing of a product. It's not just a product that a person consumes like you're manufacturing web cameras or you're picking grapes or something like that. It's a form of communication. Obviously, when I'm writing a book, I'm using a communicative medium. I'm using words. I'm not just communicating a story. I'm communicating my thoughts, my feelings, my worldview, even philosophical ideas. The most pulpy thing will still have some core component of the author within it, creating it. So if you're going to take my books and feed them into an AI and try to have it replicate my style, it won't be able to do it accurately because it has no intent, right? When I write a book, I have an intent that exists between me and the audience, whoever that audience happens to be, right? So writing into the void for no one to read it doesn't make any sense to me. But at the same time, creating a product absent any sort of artistic intent also doesn't make any sense. And that's really what I meant when I'm like AI art is an art, because there's not an intent behind it. There's a directive. The intent is so fragile and so pale, I don't think it really counts. Like telling a robot to draw a picture of a beautiful woman doesn't mean that you are communicating your feelings about a beautiful woman to another person. Whereas if you look at, a Waterhouse painting, you get this face that shows up in Waterhouse paintings over and over again. And it's very specific with this Roman nose and this somewhat dour look and this prominent chin. And you get a feeling of what Waterhouse is communicating to you. He's not just drawing a picture that you're like, well, that's pretty, or that, I don't know, that titillates my senses somehow. But there's a feeling of him in the painting showing you something about what is inside him, what he thinks beauty and intensity are. That famous painting with Cleopatra with the like dark eyebrows. There's so much intent behind a piece of art like that. You could have the AI draw imitations of Waterhouse, but it won't have the intent for why Waterhouse made his paintings the way he made them. Likewise, my books, you can't replicate my books because I'm trying to communicate something through my books. Same thing with my music. It's a communicative experience. And I love improvising my music too. So my music's not just performed live. It's not me playing, Isaac Albéniz for the millionth time, playing Leyenda or something live. It is an improvisational piece. There's a huge amount of improvisation. What am I trying to feel in the moment? What am I trying to do in the moment? Where do I want to take this right now as I'm talking? This is not a scripted video. And I've actually, I don't usually script my videos unless you're hearing a voiceover that's like me reading a blog article that I have written, obviously. I'm not scripting my videos. I'm doing it live. And usually I'm doing it without any notes either. And that's definitely the case for this video as well. So having that same intent with the music, it's the opposite of AI, right? It's the opposite of a constructed product for someone to consume like they're eating rice. It is a communicative act. And I don't want to lose that about my art, nor do I think most AI tools will ever be able to actually do that. Not unless AI becomes a consciousness like a person. And whether or not that's even possible, I'll leave that for y'all to discuss. But what most people are calling AI now, large language models, is really about creating the output, and an output that is similar to other outputs. That's why so many indie authors jumped on the idea of using AI to write their books, because they're targeting like a little micro niche. There's no creativity or risk taking involved in it, or there's so little that you might as well just have a robot do it, and then you'll edit it to make it, I don't know, maybe slightly more human. I would rather turn these things around and look at all of the tools. Like I have all of these tools. I've got like an Ableton Push. You can't see it in the frame. I've got like an Iwi. I love the Iwi because this is about humanizing the digital, right? It's a synthesizer that has a lot more expressive capabilities compared to a regular synth, where even, especially something like a Moog, where you're dialing in envelopes and different things like that to try to replicate the way a human performs music. This has all of it built in. It's like playing a saxophone with extra options. Now it's telling me that I need to charge it, so I guess I'll do that. But yeah, I love that. And I love the new Ableton Push for that reason too, is that it humanizes the digital. So what I would rather do is use all of the digital tools we have available to us to enhance our expressive capability and enhance the ability for us to reach each other and communicate with each other. That's what I love about YouTube. It's what I love about social media. It's what I love about writing books. It's what I love about talking to everybody in the comments section, is that it's two ways. We're communicating. We're making a human connection with each other, and we're using a digital interface to do it. It's like, that was what was so fun, I guess, about World of Warcraft back in the day. Like most of the people I knew who really loved World of Warcraft, they're like, I love the social aspect. What the heck does that mean? What does the social aspect mean? It means meeting real other human beings in a virtual world. The virtual world is facilitating human interaction. We're humanizing the digital. It's not digitizing the human. So like AI art is trying to digitize the human. We need to be humanizing the digital. We need to use our connections. We need to use our tools to make better communicative art for each other. I guess that's my idea here. I think a lot of artists, visual artists, got upset about AI art because it was so easy to see, like, this looks like a painting. This maybe looks like a Waterhouse painting. This one looks like Caspar David Friedrich or something else. And say, well, I'm going to be out of a job. Like it's an automatic commercial idea, right? I work for other people, and if now they can just have a robot do it, then I will not be able to have a career in art. And there's a valid worry there, right? Because your career is based on you doing work for other people in some way. But like, for instance, cover design. Cover artists kind of lost the gig years ago. And most of all painted covers got replaced by Photoshop covers. So it's very rare to see any painted cover, especially outside of fantasy. Everything is some sort of photocomp cover. Fantasy and science fiction, mostly fantasy, a little bit science fiction, they still have painted covers, but almost nothing else has a painted book cover. We replaced it with photographs. We digitized the human rather than humanizing the digital, right? Digital painting should create like a cover explosion, but the way the book market works is that everything is so tight, so micro genre, that if you step outside of what is typical for your cover, you can like nuke your sales. And I may just like rebel against that and have some of my favorite artists just do covers for me. You know, damn the cost and damn what it'll do to Amazon showing my book to people who don't know me yet. Just do it because I like to do it. Same reason I put illustrations in the Needle Ash books. I had an illustrator do that because I wanted art and I wanted him to be able to, you know, express what he wanted with art too. That's part of the fun of working with an artist to me. So, you know, yeah, you can use an AI, you can use AI art for covers. I've done that with some. I've done that for demos for people because the cover's like an ad, right? It's not like a communication of an artist. The artist, if I was hiring a painter, he'd be like work for hire, or if I'm hiring a cover designer, he or she would be assembling a cover out of Photoshop elements. You know, the communicative intent is really just like make it look like the genre that it's in to sell a product. Not a whole lot of artistic intent there compared to something like a real painting or even like somebody making a comic or a graphic novel where there's an intent behind everything that they draw. There's an intent behind the story. They're trying to tell you a story. They're trying to show you something that's in their mind that expresses something about themselves. It's about the communication, I guess is my big point. So anyway, leave me your thoughts down below. That's the way that I'm going to, you know, react to most of this, which is like, you know, why not just, what are you going to do about AI making music that sounds like yours? It's like, it won't be mine because it won't express what I'm feeling in that moment when I improvise it, right? It can't be. So I'm not worried about it because I'm not trying to package it up like a little craft Lunchable to sell to people. The art is about me and you. It's not just about the product all by itself, absent all other considerations. If you just want a product by itself, absent all other considerations, by all means, buy the AI books and have an AI write you a book, and maybe you'll enjoy that. But I think people will find it less enjoyable than they think because they want a human to be telling them a story that the human has thought about and thinks is important and has parts of his feelings associated with it, at least for now. So that's my reaction to it. You let me know what you think down below in the comments section because I love to communicate with you all. So have a great one, and I will see you all next time.